everybody, this is Megan from Cloudberry Journals. I'm going to pop in today and do a quick video on how to set up a bullet journal, specifically a Cloudberry journal, but this can apply to just making a bullet journal from scratch. We've had a lot of people who are interested in the Cloudberry journal, but they're nervous about starting or they're not really sure how to start, or they're worried about making it look nice from the get-go. So this is for you guys. If you're worried about starting at all, I'm just going to walk you through setting it up and getting started. So I'm going to show you with my personal journal, my own Cloudberry journal. I've got a few tips for you before we begin. Number one, I think people feel intimidated because they feel like it needs to be perfect from the get-go, and it needs to look like something on social media, like the beautiful spreads you see on Pinterest and Instagram. Definitely does not have to look like that. This is a practice book. I guarantee you every bullet journaler has a page in their book they're really not that thrilled with how it turned out. At least one. And so this is supposed to be practice. It's not supposed to be perfect. And it's supposed to evolve with you. Like, I started 6 or 7 weeks ago, and my beginning to now looks totally different. I've become a lot better even in just the few weeks I've been doing it. So don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid for it to look perfect. If you don't want to deal with the artsy part of it at all, you don't have to. The Cloudberry Journal is set up so that you can just use it as a time management organization tool, and it'll look nice, but you don't have to have any of the extra frills. The art part is just totally an add-on. It's not like necessarily a necessity of bullet journaling. So don't worry about that very much. Second, if you're worried about it, definitely sketch things in pencil. Pencil is perfect and great, and I guarantee you everyone who has the most beautiful, elaborate spreads on social media sketched it at least once before they inked it. So pencil is your best friend. And lastly, we've set up the Cloudberry Journal to be really clean and simple and the most easy way to organize yourself, so you can get a feel for bullet journaling. You can get a feel for what you like and don't like, tracking things and using collections pages and things like that. So this is definitely user-friendly and beginner-friendly. So it's made for beginners, so you don't have to worry about any extra stuff. So we made the journal pages really simple so that you can, number one, it'll be easy to use. Number two, you can use your imagination for a million things. It's meant to get your imaginative juices flowing. It's meant for you to be able to be creative with it and feel safe with it while also trying to be creative. So that's what this is specifically for. So with that, here's your beginning page. I recommend with any bullet journal, you put your name in it somewhere, and then I always like to say when I started it, and then when I finish it, I'll say when I finished it. Cloudberry journals should last you a whole year, so we've set it up for a year. At the beginning of most bullet journals, you have a few things. You have your table of contents. If you're setting up a bullet journal from scratch, you're going to want to go through and number all of your pages by hand, and then add in your pages with the page numbers. So if you have a page you keep coming back to all the time, this is really helpful because then you can just look up the page number and flip right to it instead of trying to search your whole book for one little thing. Next is the key. I did a whole post on how to make your key. Biggest thing here is I recommend to leave a spot for your key, and then don't make one yet, especially if you haven't bullet journaled before. Work on it for a few weeks and try and figure out what you like and don't like and how you're going to use it, and then go back and make your key. That way it'll be really relevant to what you want to use it for. So I waited 5 weeks before I made this key, and now it works perfectly for what I want my bullet journal to be. So check out that blog post for more info on the key, but that's definitely at the beginning of most journals. Cloudberry Journal is organized as easily as we could make it, with your long-term yearly stuff at the beginning, then monthly stuff, then weekly stuff, and then collections pages, which are not time sensitive at all. So like if you have book recommendations, you just go back to that all the time and just add it. So I've got yearly goals I've made in here that will eventually get written down. And then there's a couple more blank pages. I will be doing a post soon about how ideas to fill these out with long-term and yearly goals and things like that. Then you have your monthly agenda. I'd recommend, if you don't even know what to do with yearly stuff yet, just leave it alone. You don't have to fill in every page and jump straight to your monthly and weeklies, because you can at least have an idea and get started with that, just filling out calendar days and stuff. So this is what a blank spread looks like. You can start on any month of the year, and then you just write in the days. This is like, for example, my August one. Some people like to fill out the entire bullet journal in one go. We've had people buy the Cloudberry Journal, and then they fill everything out in like a week. All the months are done, all the weeks are done, all the collections pages they want to do are done, and that's way amazing and cool. I just take it 1 month at a time and 1 week at a time. So that's, you can do however you want. So there's a week monthly. I do pencil in everything for the next couple months in pencil, and then when it comes time, like the last week of August, I'll go through and make my September spread, and then I'll ink all my plans in. But I still made plans, I just haven't decorated it really nice. So there's your monthly. That's one you can definitely get started on right away. Then we move to the weekly spreads. This was my very first week. I had no idea what to do. I was feeling really intimidated and scared, especially because Kim came out with the girl with a pearl earring sketch, and I was like, I'm not that good of an artist at all. So I just kind of dived in and I just went for it. And that is what I recommend you do. If you're feeling nervous, just fill out as much as you can. Add a couple stars, or like, I don't know, little teeny illustrations. There's lots of fun how-tos on Pinterest, and just get started. This is not my final thing. This is what a blank one looks like. It's just super simple and easy. We have a habit tracker in here. That's one of the most useful things in a bullet journal. If you're making your own from scratch, you can Pinterest a million ways to make one of these, but we did weekly because we find it's the easiest and most motivational way to do a habit tracker. So I track, like, doing yoga daily, working out. I track my water intake, scripture study, things like that. So this was my beginning one, and this was my beginning blank spread. After every weekly spread, we have a blank spread because people like to track different things throughout the week or do different things throughout the week. So this was my very first one, and it definitely does not look like what I'm doing lately. Like, lately it's morphed into this. So I decided a few weeks ago I wanted to start tracking my meals, so I did start tracking it. I made a meal tracker. I liked it, so I'm going to keep it, but if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do that the next week. So worst case scenario, you have something you don't love for a week, and then you start over the next week. So it's really not that intimidating or that big a deal if you don't like something. I have spreads in here I'm not super crazy about, and you deal with them for a week, and then you get to try again, so that's what's nice. So you have the weekly and then the blank. People do so many things. This is here for you to just experiment. If there's something you think, I'd like to track that, or I'd like to know how I do that, or I'd like to set a goal and try and follow through with it, that's what these pages are for. We've had people tracking pregnancy stuff. We've had people tracking other health stuff. They made their workout and meal planning for the next week in here, their grocery list. People like to just do doodles and have a weekly doodle where they don't, like, doesn't have to go anywhere special. You can do a million things. So don't feel intimidated. If you don't even know what to do with this yet, just leave it blank or try something and see if you like it. These, you don't really flip back and go through these very often unless it's something you want to keep going back to. So it's no pressure. In the back, we do have collections pages. You can Pinterest collections pages, or we're going to make a blog post soon about collections specifically and what they are. But they're basically things that aren't time sensitive. Mood trackers. Things like Kim has like a really cute piano that she's coloring in. Once she does something, she's going to color in a key. She has specific goals. And then at the end, when she fills in her whole keyboard, she's going to get herself a piano. So so many things you can do. We've got 10 pre-made ones in here. We've got different videos on what the 10 are in the book, but these are just to help you kind of get an idea of how to use the bullet journal. And we'll be doing different blog posts on different ideas for each collections page we have in here, and then other collections you can use. So keep an eye out on the blog. But these, like, I haven't even done most of these because I've just been kind of figuring out my monthly and weeklies right now. So I haven't even really started too much on my collections pages, and that's totally fine. Take as long as you want. I now have some ideas for collections pages I want to do, so I'm going to start working on those and I'll share them, but it's totally no pressure. You can do as much or as little as you want. Some people use these just as like journaling, so you can do a million different things. So my takeaway is do what you can, even if it's just filling out the days of the week on the month calendar, and it'll come. And just don't feel intimidated. Just start really small, and you don't have to have an idea for exactly what you want right at the beginning. So we'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, let us know on social media or through our blog or online. We have a contact page where you can email us. We'd love to hear from you. We are having a sale on the Cloudberry Journals and the starter packs starting today and ending Monday the 20th of August. So we don't do sales often. This is a back to school sale, perfect for students or moms if you've got a bunch of kids going back to school and need to keep track of everyone. It's a really good way to get your journal on sale. So also, if you sign up for our email list, you'll get a code for 2 free pens, and they're our favorite bullet journaling pens of all time. So don't miss out on that too if you are going to order one. And yeah, let us know what you think. We're really excited to hear from you.